have an announcement to make. No, I don't. Sorry.
The team and John released a statement this afternoon just updating on Dame's situation. Tests are good. I guess in the statement he says he can progress or add basketball activities. What does that mean, I guess?
It's just really skeleton stuff, no contact, more shooting. He can exert himself more, which is good.
Is there any possibility we see him in this round?
Well, I mean, we're hopeful, like we're just following the protocols, and so we'll see, but we don't know yet.
The statement said he's still dealing with that deep vein thrombosis, so that means the blood clot is still there.
Yeah, but it's not anything I know, to be honest. I have no idea where the blood clot is. I didn't ask, to be honest, because they don't tell me. So.
Dr. Manny's few weeks without him, do you think that helps you going into the playoffs?
Yeah, it does. I mean, last year I think Giannis got hurt with 2 games before the playoffs, and we didn't have him. It's hard to win anything without Giannis anyway. But at least we've had a long stretch without him. Scoot's been able to come in and help. Ryan Rollins has played great. And we've kind of changed the way we play a little bit with Giannis having the ball more. So at least we've had more time to adjust to it. He's been great. He's a guy that can get to the paint. Whenever you have a guy that can break defenses down and make plays, it helps. It helps, and I think it even helps more in the playoffs because it's hard to just score on your sets. It's going to break down, and then making the plays after the plays are going to be key. And he's one of those guys that can do that.
Dame being no contact, that's because he's still on blood thinners, correct?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I swear, I'm not. I keep trying to tell you guys, I don't ask. I try to stay out of that room. I know they're doing all the same treatments that they've been doing, so I just don't know the answer.
With Scoot, he's never been in the playoffs before.
No.
What are the conversations with him about how intense it's going to be and how emotional these kind of games can be?
Well, we could talk about it all we want, which we have, but you still got to go through it. And he'll understand quickly. Single possession games, taking care of the ball, especially against the team we're playing. You turn the ball over against Indiana, you're going to lose. So those are focal points from us, not just for Scoop, but for everyone.
What about him gives you the confidence he'll be ready knowing it's his first playoffs?
He's a good basketball player. It's the same thing. I have confidence in Ryan and AJ Green, all the guys. AJ played a little bit last year, but further than I know, I swear this is still basketball. They just say it's playoff basketball, but it's still basketball, and you have to go out and perform and play. I've always looked at it as a player as fun. This is the best time. Coach has to shut up, and the players have to play. That's what I look at the playoffs as, and so I'm sure they'd be happy with that.
How nice is to have a healthier Giannis going into this?
It's the key. I mean, let's be honest. Take the best player off of every team, and it hurts them. Take one of the best players off in our generation off your team, it's going to crush you. And so it's just nice having them on the floor.
You have a familiar opponent in Indiana. How does that kind of play into the game plan? You guys had a good record in the regular season, but how's that kind of translate over to the playoffs?
Well, I hope it translates really well. I guess I'll say that. I think we were 3-1, and the one we lost was an incredible shot by Halliburton. And then the non-foul that they called a foul also on Giannis. But we'll move on from that. But it's the same themes. Transition. We have to get back. We got to take care of the ball. Last year, and Indiana's not a great offensive rebounding team, but last year they crushed us on the glass. So that's a focal point going in the series.
How do you use this practice time to work on cutting down turnovers, since it's something you mentioned?
Yeah, just being more organized offensively. Getting guys to understand you don't have to force it. Like if it's not there, just pick the ball up and pass it. I swear it's as simple as that. I think guys think at times they have to make a play or force a play, and you don't have to. We have enough players. Let the ball find the open guy, the energy makes the play, and we'll be fine.
In that one game that they did win, you had talked to us about how many open threes
Yeah.
in that game.
Yeah.
What do you see as kind of the key to not giving up those?
Yeah, controlling the ball. If you had one key to the whole series for us, when they get to the paint, they're elite. When they don't get to the paint, they're very beatable. We have to keep them out of the paint.
They're so good at those go screens, step screens.
Yeah.
Kind of giving you a different look every time.
Yeah.
approach the ball.
Yeah.
How do you guys try to get ready for
Well, we've had that all year, like that system. We've actually guarded that action pretty well. It's more the middle drives in transition, the drawing kicks that have hurt us more.
You alluded to this in Detroit a little bit with the back and forth with KPJ and Duran. Bobby was ejected in the playoffs against the
Yeah.
Pacers. He was ejected actually once before with the Pacers last year. Kevin's an emotional guy. It is a team that will push and get into guys. I don't know.
You mean us or them?
They.
Oh,
Pacers
okay. I was
will
just
try
checking.
to get into whether it's a player's head, whatever you want to phrase it.
Yeah. No, I don't think. I think they play the way they play. They pick up the ball. They play pressure D, and that gets under your skin at times. I don't think they have a Scoot Bobby game plan, but players know if they think they can get to you, they're going to try to get to you. So I think we live and we learn. We mature. I'm gonna send you some videos of me when I was a player and the 17 fights that I got into. Don't I seem mild-mannered to you now? Can you imagine that? I mean, what was I thinking? And honestly, that's what you think every time you do something. But never in the playoffs. I will say that because you can't lose it in the playoffs because now you're really hurting your team. I think our guys understand that, but I can't predict the future. I can't tell you what's going to happen. I can just hope that our guys are ready for it.
these final 14 games or whatever without Dave? You've had to play the floor a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Do you feel like that's something he can do while also playing 40 minutes and doing everything that
Yeah, that's why we built him up. But obviously, that's why we also have Ryan on the floor with him. At the end of the games lately, we've had Scoot on the floor because it's taxing. Even Giannis, who always tells me he's a point guard. Now he says, bring the ball up all the time. So, yeah, y'all thought just bringing the ball up was easy. It's not. It's exhausting at times. So, but this is a good week for us with that because, we've made him our point guard. But now we got time to actually really execute some stuff with him at that position. I think it's going to really help us.
What has Ryan shown you in this time since Lillard's been out in his playing?
Yeah, I think he's tough. I love guys like Ryan and Scoot that they've had to kind of dig themselves out of the mud to get back in the league and play. They've all made mistakes in their lives, and now they're on the floor. And you get second and third chances in life. I think you should always get those, and they have that. And they're survivors. They're fighters. I love those type of guys on my team.
Will you have Sims in this series?
Yes, I think so. Pretty sure of that.
Was he able to practice?
Yeah, he practiced most of the practice today. So that would be nice to see.
First 2 games of the season against Alberton, you had Andre kind of denying him the ball.
Yeah.
That hasn't been something you've done a ton
Yeah.
the last 2 games.
Yeah, we felt like it had an impact on Halliburton, but their offense, they beat us down the floor a ton. And so we've kind of back off of that.
Back to the fighter, Doc. What would get under your
Me?
skin that you would be fighting when you were playing?
Oh,
Understand
jeez.
and relate? I mean, that's
No, I do relate. I actually, I jokingly, I show them stuff like that. I've done it before where I'm yelling at our players. We scripted, obviously, about controlling yourself. And then in the background, it's me chasing Kevin Johnson, thinking if I could catch that son of a gun, I'm going to kill him. At that moment, that's where I was at. What do they call the amygdala overflow? Well, I clearly had that too many times. But usually it was something that you thought was an injustice. That's what it always is, right? And then when you look back on it, you're like, it wasn't that big of an injustice. He just pissed me off. That's usually what it becomes. I always try to tell my players, it's very personal. And it's selfish, but it's hard. It's hard not to be when you feel like some guy, especially this generation, everyone gets disrespected. He disrespected me. That's everybody now. So we have to just really watch it.
Doc, belief and trust has been a theme throughout the season. With this 8-0 finish to the season, how would you grade or evaluate those 2 variables with this team?
Oh, it's even if it wasn't what we use, it's what the team had to become. We start out 2-8, and we're putting in new stuff, and we didn't change it. We didn't panic. We're going to still do it. We think this is the right thing. That's belief, and that's trust. And we trusted that they had to believe it at some point, and they did, and it worked. And then we had all the injuries, and so we had to trust other guys, AJ Green, Ryan. We just keep naming them, Jericho, Scoot. We keep throwing guys in and trusting them and playing, and Andre Jackson early. So I think that's what our team is built for.
Can I nitpick one more time on the turnovers, because not all turnovers are the
Would you
same.
stop it?
And
You know,
sorry.
you're putting it out in the universe.
But they do full court press, not all
Yeah.
turnovers. So what's unacceptable to you? If
A live ball turnover. I'd rather for you to throw it in the stands, and I'm serious. I actually said that today. The guy was falling out of bounds, and he tried to throw it in, and they grabbed it and went the other way. And I said, the next time I want you to chuck that 20 yards in the stands. And now we can set our defense. But there's teams you can turn the ball over, and there are teams you can't. This team, you just cannot. And if we have high turnovers, it's going to be tough for us. That's for sure.